That's kind of the.
Yeah, I could see that.
We're
Yeah.
kind of in that cycle where we've been comfortable. You know, we've experienced good times.
Right.
I mean. Found out that the kids that were able to delay their gratification, they scored, I think, 200 or so points higher on their SATs. They were less likely to have weight problems. They were less likely to abuse substances. And just in general, they had better they had better relationships. And that on the other side, it was not necessarily they were worse off, but they just didn't behave, or they weren't as productive in life as
that makes
the
sense.
other guys. So it was Stanford in the 1960s. It was Walter Mischel. Then there were subsequent trials or experiments done by different places. The University of Rochester is one. They just included or implemented some different controls to address some variables, socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, just to make it to more accurately reflect society at the time. And University, I said Rochester, right?
I think so. Yeah. So what did they find with additional studies?
So the original one, the Stanford experiment found, they said that there is a correlation between the ability to delay gratification and success later on in life. And with the Rochester one, they wanted to, like I said, they wanted to see it more accurately reflect, but they wanted to challenge it too. They thought it was, because it was the professor's children. It was a bunch of pre-K kids that were on the Stanford campus, about 90 or so, and they wanted to make it a bigger sample size. They wanted to be more diverse to reflect society, and they wanted to include some different. They did A/B testing, reliability versus unreliability as far as the reward being provided. So, I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird, I guess, is the best way to put it, because the results were, it's not just inherent, it's also environmental. And you just think, well, so we're talking about delaying gratification here. I understand their environment, their external forces,
Right.
but the point of the matter, the entire point of in the 1960s was to find out if delayed gratification can affect the way somebody ends up later on in life. Can it affect success? And the other one, it would seem like just I don't know, wanting to prove a point, I suppose.
Yeah. I'd have to look at it more, but I've even heard like the amount of eye contact that a child gets from its mother and or father determines a lot of their fear of abandonment or fear of just being left alone later in life. Because when you feel that you're connecting with somebody and they won't leave you, and it's done at an early and impressionable age, that can last with you to know that, there's people that I can trust. I won't get abandoned, or I won't get left alone. And because what happens, I think it's traumatizing. I mean,
there's a lot of things. There's 2-parent households. What the area in the city or the state that you live. Peers, school system, or lack of a school system,
or homeschooling.
Yeah, there's so many factors, and that's why I say that Rochester one, it seemed to kind of convolute the whole thing.
Okay.
The point was trying to find out if delayed gratification negatively or positively affects. And I think it goes without saying. I don't think it requires a study or an experiment or any science to suggest that delayed gratification is a huge benefit to your progress.
And the reason, going back to the quote that we mentioned earlier, which was, it's choosing delayed gratification, which is the pain of discipline, over instant gratification, which is the ease of distraction.
Yeah.
And distraction is basically something that's not tied to the objective or goal that we want to accomplish. That's in line with our values, beliefs, or what's going to help us move the needle forward.
Sure.
Right. So I think
these stories are in the Bible too. They talked about this 2,000 years ago.
Right.
They said, look, you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit in this life. It's tough.
Yeah.
You're going to have to give up a few things in order to get to the next to the next part, the next
Absolutely.
space in life.
I mean, patience is one of the fruits of the spirit.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's really important, and I would say that this again is a topic that most people probably wouldn't even think twice about. Right?
Maybe not.
But
No.
it is a part of every one of our lives.
It is. I mean,
Because we're
it's
constantly
every day.
we're making decisions instantly or delayed wise, maybe less delayed wise, more instantly because a lot of it's autopilot stuff. You know, brushing your teeth. You know, putting on your pajamas or taking a shower. A lot of us autopilot that stuff, right? You just do it and it's done. But these new novel experiences help us to like almost slow down. But can we maybe have an experience where if we want a novel or new experience, we understand that I'm having a temporary distraction, like I might watch a Netflix documentary or entertaining show while I'm eating, and then it gives me enough temporary distraction that's positive, and not a smoke break, right? I'm not smoking cigarettes, I'm not taking a shot of whiskey, but I'm doing
It's
something.
okay in moderation, though, maybe.
We'll
Or
talk
maybe
that
not.
out. That's another discussion, but we'll talk about that another time. Stay tuned. No, I'm just kidding. But I would just say that having healthy distractions for a short time to give you the motivation to want to pursue your purpose and really help people make money, whatever it is. Ideally, you would help people, and then the money would follow. So the more people you help, as a focus, the side effect would be more money follows. That's the ideal situation. But having a distraction that allows you to, it could be working out. That could be a healthy distraction.
Yeah.
It could be preparing a meal. I mean, you're like, well, how's that a distraction? Well, you might be focusing on something that generates income. And anything that's not generating income is a distraction that's unhealthy or a distraction that's healthy.
Or if it's encouraging development.
Or personal development.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's very lacking too, I think.
I think.
People-
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, a lot of self-awareness is lacking, a lot of
Yeah.
empathy is lacking. I get a lot of YouTube comments about that.
You know, we could all do ourselves a great big service if on any given decision on any given day, if we just play it through, think about how this is going to end.
But could that be seen
And
as a form of speculation that may or may not come true, though?
Well,
You know, like worrying.
At least you can try to mitigate some of the, some of these distractions or some of this, bad results. But I mean, yes, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right.
I think that's one way to do it.
Playing it through. How
Play
does
it
this
out.
end? What are the options here?
Yeah,
Are
that's
there is there more risk involved than there is reward in this, and not an instant reward, not a I don't know.
I call it a quick win, maybe.
Yeah, I think that I just think we're not as curious as we should be. I think we gotten to a point now where we're over civilized in some instances. It seems like and we don't have all of that. We don't have all those horrors in the history of the world to deal with, and I think we're a little too comfortable maybe. So we're not as curious as we once used to be.
And we're in consume mode.
Yeah.
We're a consumeristic, entitled society. That quits really easy on stuff.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So I would say all that.
It's that cycle. You hear that cycle where they say good men, or rather strong men, strong people, strong women, whatever it is. Strong people, strong men create good times create weak men. Weak men create bad times create strong men. That's kind of the...
Yeah, I could see that.
We're kind of in that cycle where we've been comfortable, we've experienced good times.
Right.
We live till we're 80 now. We're not dying of our teeth anymore. We have dentistry, and
Right.
we have, not all the entire medical industry. I have some of my gripes, but in general,
Right.
they're improving lifespans, and they are fighting certain things.
It's just quality of life is the area, and preventative healthcare is
Yeah.
the area I think that could improve
Well,
greatly. But yeah, that's where
We're
education.
we're doing it to ourselves. A lot of this stuff is self-inflicted.
Yeah, it's like a gun, just shooting yourself in the foot, and then having somebody take out the bullet, and then being like, "Oh, load it up again."
Yeah.
Boom. That's pretty much what it is.
obesity rates are higher than they've ever been, I think.
Divorce rates.
Divorce rates are higher than they've ever been.
Marriage
People aren't getting married as often as possible.
Yep.
Children born to single parents is unbelievably high.
Suicide rates. Single mother
Suicide rates
homes.
are increasing. Depression
Oh yeah.
is increasing. And granted,